I was always obsessed with motorcycles. My bedroom looked like a little boy's room because there was motorcycles everywhere. I was 9 when I got my first dirt bike, and I did dirt up until I was old enough to get a street bike. I'm Sofi Tsingos. I own GT Moto. We have a little garage shop in Plano, Texas. When I first got on a motorcycle, I was still in diapers.
She's still that little girl, you know, she still has that same smile and wide-eyed. She's still making all the noises on the twisting the throttles. There's no difference at all. That's all I see of her now.
GT Moto started when my dad got diagnosed with cancer and came back from the hospital, and he hardly had any strength. I thought, you know, maybe the best therapy would be building another bike together. It was only to get him out of his own mind and out of his own body and build something and be creative and focus on that.
You know, I mean, we're taking it a day at a time. That first bike was a huge challenge. It was really about redirecting my attention away from what I was going through and putting it into something else. You know, there was days that were pretty tough, but as the bike was getting close to completion, that's when months and months worth of challenges and irritations and wanting to quit kind of paid off. And the attention that she got off that first bike is what brought her to where she is today.
We donated over $16,000 to St. Jude's. Seeing how the community reacted to that and would talk to him and shake his hand, be like, this is great work, and there was a side of him that I'd never seen before. He's always very focused, but then he just like opened up and it changed his life. So that's where it started. After that, it turned into every year now we build a bike for cancer or for charity in one way or another.
Well, the best part of this is just the evolution of the designs that she comes up with. In the beginning, it was just grab a few good ideas from various other builders and kind of incorporate that into a single bike of her own. Now it's evolved into a design from scratch. You know, there's a lot of components that are shared by other builders and other bikes, but the basic motorcycle design that she's coming up with is pretty unique, and that's a good thing.
My first introduction to 3D printing was online, and I always thought it was just magic. Once I saw that there's a company out there that you can get a 3D printer and put it on your desk and just print out whatever you want, that's when I was like, well, motorcycle parts are really small and they could definitely fit on that and it'd be perfect, but I can actually afford that. And there's all kinds of software that you can download for free, or if you have like a student ID, you can get all of the modeling software, and then you have this badass 3D printer to use. And that's what made it possible. It was easy to just print out these parts and prototypes and then be like, okay, this is what we need, and you can feel it, touch it. You can put it up on the bike and see if it actually fits or not, instead of going to these companies, paying all this money, tell them what you think the dimensions are, bringing it back and be like, oh crap, it doesn't fit, so I have to go back. And it's not the machinist's fault on the measurements, it's our fault. So you're paying it for every single time, whereas when we print it, it's only comes out to being maybe a few cents of material in that one part. Ross, he's a design engineer, so he uses all that software for designing stuff for his work and prototyping. And yeah, I mean, he's a gearhead, he rides motorcycles, so he was totally down to help with the GT Moto side of things.
Sofi's more the artist behind GT Moto, you know. She gets a lot of really great ideas going in her head, and the printer makes it really easy to take those ideas, turn them into an actual physical item and put it on the bike. In the past, you know, we would have to go through multiple machined iterations, and that would tack on a lot of cost. But now we can knock out all of the prototyping, design changes with the printer, and we don't have to pay anyone else for that. We just do that in-house, and then once we get something that we're happy with, we can take it off to a machine shop if we want to, and we can know that our design is correct, and you know, we don't have to worry about that.
Doing an injection molding isn't an option when it comes to custom building, because It is so expensive. Instead of being just a few cents to print off a couple, it costs you anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000. The way that it prints, I wasn't really sure how it was going to turn out, but I know that you can sand these down and make it flush or flat and give it a nice finish, but I love carbon fiber and I love different textures, and the 3D printer, it actually gave it a really nice texture, so we didn't do anything. We popped it off and it came out perfect, so we just literally put it right on and it was awesome.
Technology is going to make a huge difference with how many pieces of metal are going to wind up in the trash for us, and how many hours and hours are spent building something just to find out that it's garbage. I think the 3D printer is a game changer.
My name is Sofi Tsingos and I use 3D printing for creating custom motorcycle parts. I'm going fast.